Caitlin Clark effect, right?
The Caitlin Clark effect. Yeah, StubHub started seeing this really early as soon as she announced she was going to be in the WNBA draft.
Vicious assault. Boom, right there. Right there. And then she tried to act like, well, I'm going to help you up.
Caitlin Clark's not just good, she's changing the game. We're talking packed arenas, skyrocketing jersey sales, and a 20% jump in WNBA attendance. But get this, some folks still can't handle her shine. Shannon Sharpe stepping up to set the record straight. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Do you think Clark is nothing more than a hyped up rookie? Give it another thought. She's redefining the rules, not simply making the leap to the professionals, this college phenom. How is it that a single player can drive jersey sales through the roof?
Caitlin Clark effect, right?
The Caitlin Clark effect. Yeah, StubHub started seeing this really early as soon as she announced she was going to be in the WNBA draft.
Fill venues to capacity. Everything you need to know about Clark's performance since she joined the WNBA is right here. Here we will dissect it. There has been no slowdown for Clark after the Olympic break. The Indiana Fever are 6-1 under her leadership, and her incredible stats, 24.6 points, 5.0 rebounds, and 9.0 assists per game, are the reason why. However, that is merely the most superficial aspect. Performing admirably isn't enough for Clark. She's creating history. She made history by becoming the first rookie in WNBA or NBA history to score 25+ points, hand out more than 10 assists, and make 5 or more three-pointers in consecutive games. That is definitely worthy of being inducted into the Hall of Fame, not the Rookie of the Year category. But hold on a second, only 8 rookies have scored 600 points or more in a season, and Clark is already in that exclusive club. And it wasn't all. If she adds 250 assists to it, she will be the first rookie to do so. We're talking about an unprecedented amount of influence from rookies. Sure, she's posting stats, but is she actually changing the game? You may be asking. So here's what I'm gonna give you. An unprecedented number of fans have shown up to see the Indiana Fever play. Over 500,000 people showed up to watch all 33 of their games. The total number of people attending WNBA games this season is up about 20%, so that's not a minor gain. Clark's influence extends far beyond the realm of ticket sales. The perception of women's basketball is being transformed by her. According to the legendary Nancy Lieberman, what Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational.
As a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up. Hundreds of fans lined up.
Oh, yeah.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational.
That's not empty rhetoric, it's genuine praise from an expert in the field. Now for the exciting part, Clark isn't the only one involved. Kelsey Mitchell, who played with Caitlin, commented on their relationship on the court, stating, "I think me and Caitlin just found a way to understand one another."
Dramatic, and like the people are coming out to see this person, so we just do what we can. We embrace it. I'm pretty sure our organization can feed off of it. Our chemistry is and how we want to play, and I think for us, we got an unbelievable chemistry now to where it's unspoken. And so you get to see it. Even if you don't understand it, trust me, we get it.
Clark is about uplifting everyone around her, not just one superstar. The spotlight unveils the shadowy side of prosperity at the same time that Clark soars to new heights. After an outstanding first year, what could possibly go wrong? The solution is rooted in a contentious incident that has sparked discussions outside of the basketball arena. The foul was the starting point, not just any foul, but the kind that ignites a raging debate.
And I'm sorry, but the more and more that I see this video, I mean, there's nothing about this that's not intentional. I don't give a damn. Chicago Sky foul, some would call it an assault onto a WNBA player, and I'm talking about Diamond DeShields.
In addition to being a pivotal moment in the game, Diamond DeShields' aggressive move against Clark became a target of criticism and revealed the dark side of sports fans. Everyone should be gushing over Clark, a budding star, right? Now is when things are gonna get wild, so fasten your seatbelts. A wave of animosity unseen by anyone was released by the incident. All of this ugly stuff has zero to do with basketball, and it includes racist threats directed against DeShields and savage assaults on Clark.
Vicious assault. Boom, right there. Right there. And then she tried to act like, well, I'm going to help you up, surrounding the foul heard around the world, the latest foul heard around the world from a WNBA player on to Caitlin Clark.
However, things start to get intriguing at this point. Without holding back, the unflinchingly honest Shannon Sharpe dropped some devastating truth bombs. He said that some individuals turn into goddamn Ray Charles when it comes to acknowledging Clark's abilities, and he criticized the media for their unwillingness to do so. Oh no, that wasn't all that Sharpe did. An obvious double standard was brought to light by him. Passion and fierce competition are the driving forces behind aggressive play by male sportsmen. When females do it though, the issue arises out of nowhere. Such a sobering reminder of reality. A single foul or one player isn't going to cut it. Honor, parity, and the fight against sexist stereotypes in women's athletics are at the heart of this movement. Because of Sharpe's remarks, we need to examine our treatment of female athletes more closely. Shall we proceed with that discussion? The criticism of Clark isn't meaningless. It's an indicator of a more systemic problem. The changing narrative surrounding women in athletics is something we're witnessing unfold before our eyes. There are a lot of moving parts, and we have to face some unpleasant realities because of that. And here's the worst part. Clark's strength comes through in the midst of all this turmoil. She's not just taking on opponents' defenders on the court, she's also confronting detractors, unfair critics, and hateful comments. Meanwhile, did you hear? Even now she's acting out. Clark views this situation as more than simply a setback. It marks a turning point in her career. The way she deals with this pressure will determine her career trajectory. Is she going to give in to all the pressure and criticism? On the other hand, is she going to ignore the criticism and establish herself as a real trailblazer? As everyone is staring at Clark, a voice out of nowhere breaks the silence. Why is the basketball community reeling from the support of these individuals, and who is standing up to defend her? Introducing sports broadcaster and former NFL star Shannon Sharpe, who is going to reveal some shocking facts about Caitlin Clark that will change the way you perceive her. When it comes to Clark, Sharpe isn't one to hold back. He is slamming the naysayers, the media, and everybody else who's attempting to minimize her abilities. What was his point?
She can score the basketball and she can assist the basketball. So if one is not going, the other one will.
She can play, it's okay. Easy, isn't it? However, in the face of all the criticism and hostility that Clark has encountered, those 5 words serve as a decisive blow. However, Sharpe has more plans. Clark is being likened to some of the all-time greats in basketball by him. Folks, we're talking about legends. He goes beyond stating that she is good. He goes on to declare that she is revolutionizing the game. In the same way that men's sports like golf and basketball have produced multimillionaires, Sharpe believes that women's basketball will do the same in the future. Give that some consideration. By standing up for Clark, Sharpe is essentially opening up a new era for women's sports. He envisions a world where female athletes finally get the credit, admiration, and yes, compensation they rightfully deserve.
And
Yeah.
31-12.
Yeah, she getting a better feel. She getting a better feel for the game. She getting a better feel for the game, and is a lot more efficient from the field too. So
Maybe you're asking why Sharpe's comments are so significant now. I mean, come on, he isn't even a basketball player. However, that is precisely the reason his backing is so potent. A lot of people take attention when an outsider takes a stand for you. Clark's athleticism isn't the only thing Sharpe is praising. Our entire perspective on women in sports is being called into question by him. He's speaking out against the long-standing biases, harsh judgments, and sexist norms that have been limiting the opportunities for female athletes. Now listen up, Sharpe isn't simply being effusive with his compliments. They are an impetus for change. He's urging everyone from sports fans to journalists to stand up and acknowledge excellence, regardless of gender. He's basically arguing that we ought to stop being so hard on ourselves and start appreciating Clark for what he is, a terrific athlete. But Sharpe's backing extends beyond Clark's defense alone. He's bringing attention to the broader context of women's sports. Not only is he referring to financial success for female athletes in the future, but also to equality, respect, and the type of possibilities that can motivate a new wave of young women to follow their passions. No one sport or player is being singled out here. The entire conversation surrounding women in athletics needs to be changed, inspiring us to examine our own prejudices and preconceptions regarding the potential of women in sports. Sharpe's remarks serve as a wake-up call. And let's be honest, people pay attention when Shannon Sharpe speaks out. He has a powerful voice, and his thoughts have the power to change the story. By rallying behind Clark in women's basketball, he's doing more than advocating for a single player. He's creating opportunities for numerous others.